In this week's episode of the On My Hoops podcast, the Joker takes court in the castle of a king and comes out victorious. The underdog dominates in the home of the defending Eastern Conference champs. And history repeats itself once again as Greg Popovich gets a shot at another young big man to mold into a future Hall of Famer. So grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back, relax, roll something, and let's talk some hoops. Keep it locked. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On My Hoops podcast. I'm your host, John J., and oh my God, these conference finals are leaving us with some memorable performances. So let's get right to it. But before we do, please take a moment to drop a like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell to turn on your notifications so you don't miss out whenever a new episode drops. Also, feel free to give me a follow on Facebook at John J, and on Instagram, JJAY_15, and also on Twitter at _JJAY15. Also, go ahead and check out the show online at onmysports.com to show your support and stay up to date on everything on my hoops. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, we gonna take a look at the number 7 seed LA Lakers going up against the number 1 seed Denver Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a show. In this final game, Denver took a 3-0 series lead thanks to some strong performances from Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. As a team, Denver shot 50% from the field, 41% from the three, and Jokic started the game in foul trouble, allowing Murray to get downright nasty and drop 30 points in the first half. Man, in the second half, the Nuggets as a whole started to come alive with another strong effort from Bruce Brown, who added 15 points, and Michael Porter Jr., who added 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. But ultimately, the stars shine bright in LA, with Murray finishing with a team-high 37 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And the Joker finishing with 24 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. And for the Lakers, Anthony Davis had a team-high 28 points, 18 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And LeBron James finally sees a three-pointer fall for the first time this conference finals, connecting on 3 of them. LBJ would finish with 23 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds. But he didn't really have his best shooting night despite nailing 3 three-pointers. He ended up shooting 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 9 from the three-pointer, and 4 of 7 from the free throw line. The Lakers now don't have to try to avoid that sweep at home on Monday night. Yikes. So moving along, let's take a look at the Eastern Conference and the 8 seed Miami Heat taking on the number 2 seed Boston Celtics. Miami now leads the series 2-0, and just like I mentioned last week, so far it's come down to the stars, Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Buckets. Now, let me stop right here and just mention, I've been hearing them call him Hemi Butler, and I get it. But the current nickname of Jimmy Buckets works just fine in this situation. Hemi, if I'm being totally honest, kind of sounds a bit corny. It's a bit whack. But I may be in the minority in this. Y'all let me know in the comments. Does it remain Jimmy Buckets, or do we go with Hemi Butler? Somebody please inform me. But I digress. But when you look on the surface from Game 2, you would think that Jason Tatum was the best player from the stats, but looks can be a little bit deceiving. Now, Jason Tatum has had 2 really good games through 3 quarters apiece. But in both of these games, he has been absolutely non-existent in the fourth quarter with a total of 1 fourth quarter shot attempt combined in both games. Now, in order for Boston to win, they're going to absolutely have to find a way for Tatum to get up more shots in the fourth quarter. Right now, Miami Heat are showing what it means to be clutch. Now, we did get some signs of life from Boston in Game 2 with the energy that Grant Williams brought, but it also, in doing so, it woke up Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets, who went on to just straight up sun him and the rest of the Celtics for the rest of the night. And he finished with 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. My dog approves. And Jimmy Buckets brought everything to the table in the clutch, and he did his best Mortal Kombat Shang Tsung impression by snatching Boston's soul at home in the Garden. So one thing I found interesting was an article a tweet, an NBA history tweet. It says Jimmy Butler becomes the 3rd player in NBA playoff history with multiple games of 35 plus points, 5 or more rebounds, 5 or more assists, and 5 or more steals. The 3 people on this list, Michael Jordan did it in 7 games. Well, he had 7 games of it. Allen Iverson with 2 games, and Jimmy Butler ties him with 2 games. So how about that for a playoff list, an all-time list? Jimmy Butler is immortalized with some of the greats. And another interesting tidbit, if you were watching Game 1 and you have YouTube TV, you had some issues down the stretch with YouTube doing a little bit of tripping with the service. You were not alone. It was not your internet. I myself fell victim to this because I do use YouTube TV, and it was not a good look. Late in the fourth quarter, it paused. Then you kind of got the wheel spinning, and then the same commercial kind of repeated itself, and honestly didn't even get to see the end of the game live. It was a terrible experience, and people all over the world were complaining about it. So it was definitely a bad look for YouTube. So I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Now people are questioning what the NFL is gonna be like with NFL Sunday Ticket now coming to YouTube, or some of the playoff games is gonna be streaming on Peacock. But we have some of these issues, so definitely something that it's going to have to get ironed out coming up really soon. We can't have these issues persist. You feel me? So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have YouTube TV and if you have these problems. And what do you think about the service? Does it make you feel any different about them going ahead? Let me know. So moving along, I want to get into some off-season rumors that I've been hearing. A few of them, you dig? So we're not going to go over the full list, but just a few things that stood out this week. Some recent news. So Jonathan Kuminga from the Golden State Warriors apparently is drawing a lot of interest. According to ESPN's Zach Lowe, executives here are also buzzing about the future of the Golden State Warriors after the Los Angeles Lakers eliminated them over the weekend. Judging from my conversations, there remains a strong level of interest in Jonathan Kuminga around the league. This is a kid that's got some real serious potential, and he's looking for playing time. We've talked about it over the last couple of weeks. Golden State Warriors could potentially look very different next year. And I mean, hey, if I'm being totally honest, this is a kid that might be able to net you another first-round pick. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if that carrot gets dangled this offseason. Jonathan Kuminga is a hot young commodity, and I think it'll be quite a few teams lined up to take a shot at him. He's got some playoff experience, some clutch minutes played, and there's a lot still, a lot of potential left in that kid. Very athletic, good defender. He could be something in this league given the opportunity, and I hope he gets an opportunity. I don't want to see the talent get wasted away. Not to say that Golden State is a waste. That's a great situation, but it's a team full of veterans, and they don't really have time to develop. So we'll see how that turns out. Or maybe, like I said last week, one of Andrew Wiggins or Jordan Poole gets moved, and it opens up some time for young Kuminga. So that'll definitely be interesting to see how that plays out. So another name to watch this offseason is James Harden, as he plans to opt out of his player option and seek a long-term deal, according to reports. They say that James Harden intends to opt out of his deal, seeking a long-term contract with basketball freedom. This is according to Chris Haynes. Those of y'all who don't recall, James Harden just signed this shortened deal last offseason. A 2-year deal, a 1-year deal with a player option for the second year. And that option is for $35.6 million. So reports have him opting out of this deal for some long-term freedom. He took a pay cut to try to give him a chance to win. Now he's trying to come back and collect his money. So that's definitely an interesting one to see how that's going to play out. Now, some of these reports on James Harden has kind of been a little bit confusing to me. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Y'all let me know in the comments. But most of them say that he was the driving force in getting Doc Rivers fired. And other reports say he's most definitely leaving and most likely for Houston. So if I had to make a choice on where he'd end up, I think I say he'd end up staying put in Philly, depending on who they're going to select to be the new head coach. But Philly has very limited options. And if he leaves, it's going to be very hard for them to make their roster any better. And they might end up having to blow it up or trade away something very valuable. So they definitely don't want him to hit the open market and leave for nothing. So I'm thinking that they're going to end up offering him top dollar. It'll most certainly be something to keep an eye on this summer. Absolutely. And in other news, more Warriors news. I told you they're a hot team this summer. But the GM, Bob Myers, who's possibly the biggest question mark of theirs heading into next season, he might be thinking of leaving. and we'll have absolutely no shortage of suitors. Meanwhile, it has been reported that Golden State has offered him the biggest GM contract ever, and now the ball is all in his court. It's all up to him. So we'll see how that turns out, but other teams around the league with GM openings are definitely licking their chops at a chance to get the architect in their buildings. So we shall see. And last but not least, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now likely Victorwembanyama, the 7'5" French star, could potentially add his name to the list of Spurs Hall of Fame big men, coached by Greg Popovich. So congrats to the Spurs for winning the 2023 NBA Draft Lottery last week. It's going to be fun to see how this kid's career pans out. Absolutely. But I know this has been a real quick episode, ladies and gentlemen, but if you've noticed as of late, we're down to one on this show. And without the back and forth, you got just me. And I'm not going to hold you too long, but before I let you guys go, I gotta leave you with my last word. And this week, that's, if you are a fan of boxing, oh my God, I hope you tuned into the absolute war that I just saw between Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, with Devin Haney coming out victorious. Now, it was a very, very, very controversial win for Haney, though, with many people feeling like Loma won this fight. So please let me know in the comments if you saw it. What did you think? I really, really, really want to hear how you guys had this thing scored. But congratulations to Devin Haney. He remained undisputed. Bright future ahead for the kid. But ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, folks, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you stuck around to the end of the video, I thank you very much. I appreciate you very much. And I hope that you have the absolute best week ever. And from the On My Hoops podcast, catch you later. Peace.